Hey guys, Chairman here. Welcome to another local feature live match replay with commentary. This is round one of the tournament we had this past week. Sorry, didn't have any videos for a few weeks. We didn't have enough turnout for one weekend, and the other weekend I was down in SoCal. But we're back with 2 rounds here for you guys. I'm so excited to do commentary again. On the left, we have a Mushoku Tensei player. On the right, we have me. Yes, that's right. I'm playing Idolm ster Million Live, 8 wins here. And normally I don't want to commentate my own matches because, well, I mean, they're my matches. But unfortunately, on the other table this week, we had a player who was the first time he was playing Weiss Schwarz, and I just didn't want him to give him the pressure of having to play on a recorded match and like learn the game and just be afraid of misplays. So we're doing my match. So I will try to give more insight into how I was playing the turns and stuff like that to the best of my ability. So here we open up with the On Death Fukajiro. I honestly don't remember a lot of these girls' names. Unfortunately, I don't play Million Live too much. There's a lot of girls, so you know it's unfortunate a little bit. Also, the glare is a little not great here, but I will try my best to narrate the situation through the glare. So that is a Rudius runner on the right. My opponent choosing not to put it in the center. So the reason why I believe her name's Iku. I put Iku in the center because of the Rudius runner. I know knowing the matchup that the runner is a center runner, I wanted to try to lock the runner into the center slot so that I could get a reverse. My opponent decides not to kind of go for that, allowing me to keep my On Death Fukajiro, putting the runner to the right so that, you know, it can free run on his turn, which is a very valid strategy. I think this is pretty good. Also denies me the mill on my On Death effect. And so if I take this damage and don't have like a Riki or some kind of way to hit me to level 1, the runner is very likely to live. So in this case, it's actually, I think this is a pretty heads up play. However, he does trigger for 3, and I believe I do take it. Yes, which means I'm guaranteed to hit level 1. So as long as I can present a good enough board, I will be able to deal with the Rudius runner here. So draw, level up on the Azosa. This is an experience 6 deck, which means we do want to have 2 level 3s in the experience zone. So Azosa being a 3/2 here, and yellow allows us to play yellow, which is really good for 8 wins, and also gives us the experience we need for the level 3 Konomi combo. So now, just doing some math on if we can kill his entire board. So the Iku is 2k power, the back row I can tap it to pump 1k. I do have a 1-0, I believe her name's Akari, on the board. She's attacks for 6k power. And the character I play on the far left is another Iku. So they're both 2k power. I tap, give power to the one of them, I believe. Yeah, just give one of them. Unfortunately, the other one is too small, and that is going to be just an empty win that I play here. So the Rudius runner does get to live. So as you can see, my opponent playing the Rudius runner, not killing the Iku on the first turn, but because of that, actually gets to keep the Rudius runner around for an extra turn. Now the reason why I played this empty win combo, it doesn't combo with anything on the board. However, the Akari on the far right has the effect. Whenever she reverses a battling opponent with a win trigger in play, you can look at the top 2 cards of your deck, rearrange them, and then reveal the next card. If it's a level 1 or higher, you can add to your hand. So it basically combos with any win trigger you want, which is like super awesome. Probably one of the best cards in the deck. I play it as a 4 copies, and that's why I wanted to put it in front of the Ruijerd, because I wanted the reverse to get the advantage. So otherwise, I would have tried to kill force the Rudy runner to die, but instead I just wanted the advantage from playing the wind and getting the reverse on the Ruijerd. And because I did trigger the wind, I was able to get advantage anyways by paying 1 and draw. And I trigger another wind, so I do the effect again. The back row has the effect when you trigger a wind trigger, you can pay 1 to draw. Is one of the reasons why this deck is so good, because wind triggers never get stuck in your stock, and you just get a ton of advantage just by playing the game, you know, triggering, and it also goes deeper through your deck, which is awesome. I love effects like that where you can pay out climaxes just basically as soon as you trigger them, so they never get stuck in stock. So as you can see here, I didn't climax combo. I played a climax, got the top check reverse, added a Rio to my hand, and my hand is basically full. Pretty sure I have 7 cards in hand right now. So the deck is very competent at just building hand, getting a lot of advantage. So full board, full hand, doing a pretty good job right now. It's like definitely a good game state for me. My opponent uses Pendant, has the Roxy on board, and the color, searches the Rudius, discards Climax. At this point, he's out quite a lot of Climaxes, so it's good that he's using the Pendants here, get the combo, and presumably going to mill through his deck as much as possible just to get more compressed, lower the variance of the remaining deck size, so he doesn't take too much damage here. It's a pretty good game state though, because I have the full board. So I'm not going to take any extra pockets of damage through directs. And if I can cancel one of these attacks, the deck state is going to be very good for me. I'll still be at level 1. And presumably I can mill through the rest of my deck here. Although I am out quite a few climaxes because I did double trigger the previous turn. So yeah, just checking my waiting room right now to see how many climaxes I'm out. Opponent plays 2 level 1 Rudius combos and the 1/1 that can search the climax from the deck. So this is kind of a weird situation where you don't want to search the climax out of your deck if you don't have to, but of course, because the climax combo also mills, by getting the climax out of your deck, you can still mill through your deck even more, which is kind of like the trade-off. So you lose 1 cancel in your deck, but you also get to mill through the rest of your deck. So it's really good if you just need a mill. So my opponent here, I don't know why he was reaching for the 5th card. That's not a Brainstorm 5. Does hit it on the climax, so we'll salvage a character here. I think he just gets another 1/0 Rudy, if I remember correctly. He's thinking about it. I think there's a lot of different options here. Oh, I think actually he gets the 1/0 Roxy. Perhaps. Yeah, the 1/0 Roxy is pretty good. 1/0 Rudy would be good. Oh, he does get the 1/0 Rudy. Yeah, any of those cards. Mushoku Tensei has really good level 1s. And could potentially just, you know, have a really solid board. I guess he doesn't go for the 1/0 Roxy here because my board's tiny. He doesn't really need it. And he is thinking about maybe looping combo for the next turn. But I would probably get the 1/0 Roxy here myself just to put it on the field and make the Rudius gigantic. So he does use the climax combo effect, discarding the runner to basically tutor the climax out onto the stage. That's an attack step combo, which is kind of interesting. Counting the rest of the cards in his deck to make sure that he can mill through as much of it as possible. As the 1/0 Roxy here. Yes, that's the 1/0 Roxy. Global 500 and also global 1k to the Rudius combo. It's very solid card. Triggers Pants here. Not ideal because, again, he's out a lot of climaxes, but it does get the climax to loop it for the following turn. I take 3 here. And yeah, seems okay. I have a lot of deck left, which is not good, right? So I'm pretty worried here that I could be level 2, but we'll see what happens. I believe he grabs the climax swap there and then triggers for 2. I'm thinking here. So thinking on counter step with the 1/0 ticket event. So yeah, just looking through, I'm like very, very early on in my first deck and 3 climaxes out already. I'm just deciding if I want to mill through the deck and kind of see more options. Yeah, so I do use the ticket event. So I couldn't use it on the first attack because I didn't have blue, but I can use it on the second attack. So this event is a event counter. You can look at top 4 cards of your deck, add 1 music to your hand. It doesn't have any condition to play it outside of just, you know, you can just play it as an event. And the downside is it goes to the bottom of your deck. So it does technically add a card back to your deck. So it's not great in certain circumstances, but it's also really good in other circumstances because it stacks the bottom of your deck, so you know exactly what's there, and it actually can give you a lot of advantage by kind of playing around that. And it's also a clean trigger, so if you mill down, you can put it to the bottom and then trigger cleanly. So right here, yeah, I just counting cards in deck, deciding if I want to do the counter again. I don't, and I do cancel here, which is really good. We stay at level 1, which is pretty huge. So now, yeah, just realizing, yeah, I should resolve it one by one to give myself the most options here. So on Death Fukujiro, just discard a card, look at top 4, add a level, well, up to top 4, add a level 1 or higher. So discard that, 1, 2, 3, thinking 4, okay. So at this point, I'm just grabbing the Tsugumi early play, Tsumugi, Tsumugi, oh man, I don't remember their names. It's one of those, Tsumugi, oh, I should look it up. Anyways, yeah, grabbing her early play, it's a pretty good card. And yeah, just also good for blue experience. I do have 1 in clock already, so don't need the 1 in hand. The 1 in hand is probably just going to be used to play. And here I'm looking through the rest of my deck, deciding if I need the second Fukujiro mill or not. Okay, I can't read the kanji on her name, so I actually don't even know what the name is on the card. So yeah, deciding not to do the mill on the Fukujiro effect because thinking I just have enough in hand to mill through. I think if I do draw the climax, I would be able to mill through here. Although I believe I don't draw the climax, which is not great here because I do have the 2 on climax combo. So I think I play Brainstorm here. I do remember that not drawing the climax was quite unfortunate. So yeah, so I play 1-0 Akari. It's 6k on attack, so we'll swing over the Rudius. If he had the 1-0 Roxy in the back row, definitely this turn would have been a lot more difficult for me because the powers on board would have been too big. But luckily for me, he doesn't have that, so I can pretty much clear his board here. Alright, gotta look up these characters' names as I decide on my turn. So I think I couldn't kill all his characters, so yeah, deciding just which ones to let alive, and use the Subaru effect to reveal is the wind trigger. So then I do the climax, or no, I brainstorm, hit 2. Yeah, I was hoping to draw one of those, but getting salvage 2 here is still pretty good, so definitely not bad here. Deciding to salvage 2 cards, salvaging another Rio. So Rio is a really good card in this deck because both of my back rows can tap for no cost. The brainstorm also has a second ability. You can tap to reveal the top card of your deck if it's level 1 or higher. You can move it to the bottom if you want. And then obviously the other card can tap to pump 1k. So both of those can turn on the Rio. The Rio basically can get the effect when you use a startup. Rio gets the ability on reverse blind stock. And so here I have double Rio. Both of them have the on reverse blind stock ability. And I know there's no climaxes, I believe, in the rest. Or no, I think there's actually one climax left in my deck. So I'm hoping that I can trigger it so I can pay it out, and then the blind stocks will be clean, which is really good for me. So yeah, 4 cards left in deck, 1 climax. And I do hit it on the first one, which is excellent, because now I can use the effect to pay 1, draw 1. And the rest of my deck is clean, which means that these blind stocks will be clean as well. So it's very good for me here. Yeah, this deck is very potent at just, yeah, refreshing very cleanly for free, basically. Yeah, so attack here with the Rio trigger and get the blind stock, which I know is clean, and we'll refresh here with all 8. Not bad. For not having actually used the climax combo in this game, is like my hand advantage is very strong. So it's pretty good. Deck is very fun. If you guys want to try it out, would highly recommend it. It's very fun. Also uses my favorite characters, so all the more reason for me to shill the deck, I suppose. Where is this girl? I can't find Tsumugi. What is this? Is she like a... So the idols are grouped into 3 colors. So there's cool, there's dance, visual, and vocal. And I thought she was dance, but I don't see her here. Okay. So over here, so reverse the last Rio and blind stock. So doing pretty good here. Fresh deck. I believe we refresh a climax. Yeah, we refresh climax, which is unfortunate, but otherwise not too shabby. Opponent does pop 2 penance, so it gets the return on investment there. And we'll see what options he does. So the Rio does give the character across from it pay 2 encore. So if he wants to, he could use this stock to encore the Rudius, since he does have the 1-0 or the climax for the 1-0 combo in his hand. But he is low on stock, so I do think that not using the pay 2 encore is also pretty good, especially if you can just get the cards again for less stock investment, because he already has one from the brainstorm that he did the previous turn. So it's pretty likely he can just get another one for pretty cheap, and then yeah, he doesn't need to invest a lot of stock into this turn. So yeah, so I'm expecting him to be playing the 1-0 combo again and doing the climax combo. And hopefully, even though it's a fresh deck, and fresh decks are a little bit risky because again, there's really no there's no protection on a fresh deck. Even though you can refresh really well, your deck is so big that there's a lot of variance in it, and it's highly likely that you'll take large chunks of damage just randomly. So yeah, just hoping we just get a cancel here if possible. And yeah, my opponent does get to early play. He is level 2, early plays, discards a climax heals the stock. So I know that he has another one in hand. Definitely. So he must have drawn one, I think. So deciding on his remaining character to play. I think he just plays another 1-0. Or he might have brainstormed to get a 1-0 to play. Oh no, he has a pendant. Okay, so he pendants for the last 1-0 to play here. I'm pretty sure. That's a pretty good turn, yeah. With the climax combo, so double combo with the early play heal. Solid. Very solid turn. Discarding the 1-1. Doesn't really need it in this matchup. The Tsumugi early play is very small, so there's really no reason to use the 1-1. Like the Rudius, I'm pretty sure just beats over it. With the climax, yeah. Thinking about brainstorming, I don't think he ends up brainstorming, and I think that's correct because he's low on stock right here, so definitely not brainstorming to build stock is really good. Now, I believe he makes pretty big error here by attacking with the 1-0 Rudius first. So, unfortunately, milling 2 climaxes with the combo, but the reason why he shouldn't attack with the ones first is because he's playing straight into a potential anti-change counter, which I do have in my hand, and I'm exactly at 2-0. So yeah, just counting power to see if I can save the Akari alongside killing his early play Rudius. I couldn't, but it's still definitely worth it. Oh, blind stocked a win the previous turn with the Rio, so out 2 climaxes already on fresh deck is not ideal, but the anti-change is huge here. So yeah, able to kill that, so denying him not only the attack and the damage, but also the stock, which is huge here because he is super low on stock. And I managed to cancel, so this is definitely a huge swing in my favor. So even if I take this, I'm sitting very pretty. Basically tied in damage with my opponent here. He only chooses to look at 1 here, which is kind of strange. I would definitely be milling a lot more here because, I mean, he just refreshed and he checked a bunch of climaxes, so I think he needs to start digging through his deck, but we'll see if that we'll see if he can get a cancel on the swing back here. I do take the 3, and I am not in a good position because having a little hand spasm there, but yeah, refreshing climax and also blind stocking another climax off the Rio, so not too thrilled with my deck state here. And I think I make a pretty big error this turn because I didn't remember that the 1-0 Roxy pumps the Rudiuses to 6-5 power. I thought it was only 5-5 power for some reason. I thought it was just the global, or like I thought it was like frontal, and then like the one on the left wouldn't have power. I don't know. I just kind of like not thinking here, and so yeah. So I blind stocked another climax. So because I used the yeah, it's just like, oh man, it's so bad. Anyways, yeah, just out so many climaxes there, but it's okay. Wait, was that the blind stock or was that the brainstorm? Actually, yeah. Anyways, salvage the Rio here, which is the big issue because I salvaged it and I played it and I realized that I couldn't get 2 reverses here. I thought I could get 2 reverses. Didn't have a climax in hand, so I was like, oh man, this is actually really bad because I want to get both reverses here since I just killed the 3-2. So opponent's low on resources, low on stock, low on hand, and if I let him untap with any of his Rudiuses here, he just gets to rebuild basically for free. If he has another climax or can get another climax, it's like a lot of advantage for him. So it's imperative that I kill both his Rudiuses here, even if I need a minus for it. So yeah, realizing that the 1-0 Rio was not enough, and actually none of the 1-0s were enough. So actually in here, I should have brainstormed and salvaged a 3-2 Konomi to set up for level 3 because my hand was really garbage, I think, at this point, and I needed just anything to play at level 3, but instead I just got a 1-0 Rio that's not going to do anything for the rest of the game, which is a little unfortunate here. But yeah, so I do commit to the 2-1 Miya. No, Tamaki? Yeah, 2-1 Tamaki here because I just need to reverse that Rudius. I need to make sure that my opponent can't come back into the game here with 4 cards in hand. Because if he can come back, I'm also in a really bad state. So just basically playing low econ game, and I need to force my opponent also play low econ game because I haven't been hitting my climax combos that I need. So direct attack here with Tsumugi for 3 damage, it does hit. The reason why I'm direct attacking here is because I'm just scared of like potential anti-change counter. I don't know if he runs it or not. I don't think he does, but it just, you know, playing around that. And the Tamaki just gets the reverse anyway, so there's no reason for me to, I guess, commit the Tsumugi potentially to the anti-change. So he does level up and is able to pop the pendant to search for a counter just in time to counter in my Rio. So the Rio is tying here, and he does counter to deny the free stock, which is really good and also keeps his Rudius alive. So I think that's a pretty good play, using the pendant to search. And yeah, that is dead. I definitely committed to the 2-1 to kill that 1-0 Rudius. So he is level 3, and with only 3 stock, doesn't really get to make a big push here. Feeling pretty good about the game state, but my hand is really bad. So I think my hand right now is like, I don't even think I have a level 3. I have like the 1-0 Rio, and then it's just like some level 0s. I don't even think I have the event to mill, so I'm not in a good situation here. And I think I'm out a lot of climaxes. So yeah, just not very happy with my misplay earlier of getting the 1-0 Rio. Definitely should have gone the Konomi, so that next turn I could play the Konomi, draw a card, potentially draw a climax, and also just have a big 3-2 body. So the Konomi gets ability from the Hinata, which is the tap back row to give 1k and also the wind support. The Hinata gives the Konomi the ability when it versus a battling opponent, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and just rearrange them however you like, which is super strong. So it works really well with the Konomi combo, being able to, so the Konomi combo is on reverse the Musashi effect, so mill the top card of your deck and then burn equal to that card's level +1. So the top 3 rearrange allows you to basically choose what burn you want from the top 3. It gives you so much control. You can burn anything between 1 and 4, depending on what you see on the top 3. And it also allows you to stack your deck. So if you see a climax, you can stack it very low so that your opponent will hit into the climax. So like, let's say you have 3 cards on the top of your deck. You want to stack the climax at the very bottom so that your opponent swings, hits a clean card, and the climax. So it just goes deeper into your deck. And also can stack it for the Azusa restand, which restands if it mills a Soul Trigger. So a lot of really good synergy in this deck from the on reverse top deck 3 rearrange ability. It's really fun. I like deck control decks a lot. It's a lot of fun for me. So does hit the Brainstorm, grabs the 3-2 healer. I think this is just pretty good play, right? Heals down to 3-1. I think he clocks here, right? So but he can still heal down to 3-1 here, and just apply pressure to the board. Try not to die, and then hopefully the next turn he can just try to push me to lethal range here. And the 3-1, the 3-2 is pretty big with the 3-2 support in the back row. So yeah, definitely just pretty good. I think he can kill both my characters here. The Hinata gets 1k power for every one of my opponent's back row, so it's 218k right now, but I think the Rudius is just... Oh no, actually no, the Rudius isn't big enough. Oh, so yeah, okay, he can't kill the Hinata. So choosing to kill the Tsumugi instead of the Hinata, using the peaking Roxy to look at the top and bottom cards of my deck. Yeah, I think in this case, yeah, just killing Tsumugi is good, not letting me untap with a 3-2 attacker. And I'm surprised he couldn't kill my Hinata. I guess, yeah, just 2k power support with the Roxy, and then the Rudius would just be 7k, so not big enough. So I do cancel here. Very fortunate, canceling the big attack. But he does play the climax combo, and I thought he was just going to burn 1 here, but he does opt to ditch 2 to burn 3. I think actually this makes sense because he is behind a lot. He needs to push me to level 3 to have even like a chance of coming back. And if he just does the burn 1, then there's a chance I don't hit level 3 this turn. So yeah, he sticks to burn 3, which is really big for him. This really gives him a fighting chance, and triggering the pants here is really unfortunate. He really wanted that to be left in his deck to cancel with and give him a potential next turn. So now I'm thinking of like, if I can do lethal here, it's like I need to push for game here probably, because this is like my best chance to have a lethal swing. So draw. So the next 2 cards in my deck are clean. So I think I have to look through and do some counting to verify that. So it's a really awkward situation here where I need cards in my hand because my hand is really bad. I don't have the 3-2 Konomi. If I had the 3-2 Konomi, this turn would have played out completely differently, because I would have been able to brainstorm and then play the 3-2 Konomi and actually assert pressure. But now, because my hand is super bad, I can't contest this board. I'm trying to figure out how big the 3-2 Roxy is here. She's 11k, so that means I definitely need a 3-2 of my own in order to contest the Roxy. And if I let the Roxy untap and he gets because he salvaged the climax with the pants trigger, I'm actually in pretty big danger here. So I need to be able to kill the Roxy, or at least contest it. And I also need to try to push for game. And there's no climaxes in my deck, so if I clock draw here, I don't get to, I won't be able to get a climax. And so here I do the interesting play where I mill 2 because I just want to keep the compression. And so I think if I knew that there was a Konomi in the deck, which I didn't know for sure, I don't remember what my stock was at this point. If I knew there was a Konomi in the deck, I could have potentially clock to draw the Konomi and then use the Konomi to continue to draw more. But again, like this would have been a completely different turn if I had Konomi in hand. If I had a Konomi in hand, this would have been such an easy turn. I just mill 2, you know, have great compression, play the Konomi, and I can contest Spore and stuff like that. But because of this situation, I have to mill 2 with the Mizuki, so I can refresh with pretty good compression here, and then hope I hit something good on the Brainstorm. So I have the Brainstorm with the Mia and hope I hit something good. And so I do hit, and I hit the Azusa here. So Azusa is huge. It's a restander. It doesn't require climax combo. Also swings for 14k. She gains 1k for every other card. So yeah, hitting Azusa here is just absolutely goated. It's, you know, I have plays. I'm like really happy here. And I can push for game even without climax because of the potential restand. And just the deck has a lot of soul triggers, so potentially can have a lot of damage here. So I do the pump 1k, make sure the Azusa is absolutely gigantic. We're just getting over his entire board. Very nice. And this is actually a pretty formidable game-winning push, right? So it's going to be 2-2-2 or 2-2-1-2 if I get the restand. So it is enough on the board for lethal, not counting soul triggers. So yeah, pretty good. The Brainstorm kind of saving my butt there. And yeah, not sure what I'm thinking about. It's just attack here. I guess attack order does kind of matter a little bit, because I am thinking about potential, like if he counters, like what's he gonna do here? Yeah, so 3 cards left in deck. We are all clean. We do hit the trigger on the empty lane swing, which is really good for me because the Azusas are now, the Azusa swing is now lethal, and if it restands, then it's another lethal swing. Yeah, so refreshing. What is it? Clean. Okay, swing with Azusa for 2 damage. Trigger clean, and oh, that's game. So we hit it. Yeah, it's pretty good. Just checking the mill, it would have been a restand. It's pretty strong. So yeah, managed to win pretty well. A little misplay. Yeah, so my hand, as you can see there, is really bad. So a little bit of misplay early with the Rio Salvage, but my opponent also misplayed with not attacking with the 3-2 Rudius. So I guess we both had like one major misplay that kind of cost us a good play at a certain level of the game. But otherwise, pretty solid play overall. You know, just managed to get some semblance of a game plan online. So I didn't climax combo, but again, the deck is really resilient. Even without climax combo, you can get a lot of advantage. My opponent, even though he was climax screwed, was able to climax combo twice, still get a lot of advantage as well. So very well played game. And I will be moving on to the second round, so you'll see me in the next video. And yeah, so if you like this kind of commentary, feel free to subscribe. I try to do this every week with the local matches we host at our car shop. And so yeah, feel free to comment on any kind of feedback or, you know, questions or stuff like that. I'd be happy to answer. And I'll see you guys for the next one.